You know that dream, falling through the void, running from the unseen, suddenly naked among strangers. You wake up, heart pounding, reality feeling thin. What if I told you those weren't glitches? What if every night, while you sleep, you're having a conversation with the oldest, wisest part of yourself, and you've just forgotten the language to hear it? Here's the thing about dreams that nobody tells you. They're not entertainment. They're not your brain having a little psychedelic party while you're unconscious. They're messages written in a language older than words, delivered by a part of you that existed before you learned to lie to yourself. Every night, you descend into REM sleep, rapid eye movement if you want to be technical about it, and your brain does something extraordinary. It paralyzes your body, probably so you don't act out that bit where you're fighting a dragon made of your childhood anxieties. Then it starts firing neurons in patterns that look almost identical to waking consciousness. Almost. Except the logic center, the bit that says dragons aren't real and you can't breathe underwater, that part goes offline. What you're left with is pure, unfiltered subconscious. The ancient Egyptians thought dreams were messages from the gods. The Greeks built entire temples where people would sleep, hoping to receive divine wisdom. Freud called them the royal road to the unconscious, which is very Freud of him, but he wasn't entirely wrong. Modern neuroscience suggests dreams might be how we process threats, rehearse scenarios, consolidate memories, or work through emotional turbulence we're too busy to deal with during the day. But here's what really matters. Your dreams are yours. That recurring nightmare about showing up to an exam you never studied for, that's not some universal symbol you can look up in a dream dictionary. That's your anxiety wearing a school uniform. The dream where you can fly but only 3 feet off the ground. That's your relationship with freedom and limitation playing out in metaphor. Think about it. You spend roughly a third of your life asleep. If you live to 80, that's about 26 years of dreaming. 26 years of nightly theatre productions starring you, directed by you, written by the part of you that knows everything you've ever tried to forget. Every fear you've buried, every desire you've been too afraid to name, every version of yourself you might have been. The most common dream themes: falling, being chased, teeth falling out, flying, being unprepared. They show up across cultures, across centuries, but they don't mean the same thing for everyone. Falling might mean loss of control for you, but freedom for someone else. Being chased could be avoidance, or it could be the thrill of transformation. Your subconscious speaks in your dialect, uses your references, your memories, your fears. And here's the beautiful, terrifying part. It's trying to help you. Every bizarre scenario, every impossible landscape, every conversation with your dead grandmother, or your future self, or a talking cat. It's all your mind's way of processing what your waking consciousness couldn't handle. It's showing you what you need to see, even if you don't want to look. So how do you learn to speak dream? How do you translate these nocturnal narratives into something useful? Something that doesn't just fade away like smoke the moment you open your eyes? First, you have to remember. Most dreams dissolve within 5 minutes of waking. They're written in invisible ink that only shows up in darkness. The solution? A dream journal. Keep it by your bed. The moment you wake up, before you check your phone, before you wonder what day it is, write. Don't worry about complete sentences or making sense. Just capture the fragments, the feeling, the colors, the impossible architecture, the face that was your friend, but also your father, but also a stranger. Do this for a month and patterns will emerge. You'll notice your subconscious has favorite metaphors, recurring locations, persistent characters. You'll start to recognize your own symbolic language. Maybe water always means emotion. Maybe houses represent your sense of self, Every time you dream about your childhood home, you're wrestling with old versions of yourself that you thought you'd left behind. Pay attention to the emotions more than the events. Dreams don't care about literal accuracy. If you dream about being chased by a monster through a mall, the important part isn't the monster or the mall. It's the fear. It's the feeling of being pursued, whatever you're running from in your waking life. And here's something fascinating. The ancient technique of lucid dreaming, becoming conscious within the dream, is making a comeback in neuroscience labs. The mnemonic induction of lucid dreams technique, MSLD, involves setting an intention before sleep. You tell yourself, I will realize I'm dreaming. You visualize recognizing dream signs. If you're patient, you'll be walking through a dream and suddenly think, wait, this is a dream. And then everything changes. Because once you're conscious, you're not just watching the movie, you're directing it. You can turn and face the thing that's chasing you. You can ask the strange figure what it represents. More importantly than flying, you can dialogue with your subconscious in real time. You can literally ask your deepest self what it's trying to tell you. Dreams are evolution's way of giving you a sandbox, a place to practice, a place to process, a place to integrate all the contradictions and complexities of being human without the risk of actual consequences. You can die in a dream and wake up fine. You can confront your worst fears. You can experiment with different versions of yourself. Every night, you're handed a ticket to your own private theatre, where the only story being told is yours. The only character that matters is you, in all your forms, all your ages, all your possible futures. Your subconscious isn't trying to confuse you. It's trying to complete you, to show you the parts of yourself you've hidden away. The symbols aren't universal. The interpretations aren't in a book. The answers aren't online. They're in you, waiting for you to learn their language, to pay attention, to take your dreams as seriously as you take your waking thoughts. So tonight, when you close your eyes and drift into that space between consciousness and void, remember, you're not just sleeping. You're descending into the most honest conversation you'll ever have. Your subconscious is waiting, patient as always, ready to show you what you need to see. Keep a journal. Write in the dark if you have to. Chase the fragments before they fade. Learn your own symbolic language. And maybe, just maybe, you'll start to understand the secret messages you've been sending yourself all along. Because the deepest truths aren't found in daylight. They're waiting in dreams, in shadows, in the infinite theater of your sleeping mind. Sweet dreams. You're going to need them.